All right, so unfortunately, my little bit of a red streak continues from Friday, and you know what? It's totally my fault. I ran the gap scanner this morning. There was like 50 plus stocks. Before the market opened, there was like 70. It was all over the place. There was a lot of large caps moving, and there was no clear lead gapper. And guess what I did? I got aggressive on the two maybe best lead gappers, but there was no reason for it. And I'm going to talk about it a little bit more when we go to the charts in a second here. But really the reason I think I've been doing a little bit of reflecting, I think the reason for that is because I've been playing a little bit of a catch up. I know you guys probably have heard me already say, beginning of April, had two big losses, totally caught up, broke even again, and then I got sick. And now I feel like now I'm back at it after missing about a week of trading. But then, maybe I'm trying to catch up a little bit. I have a little bit of, FOMO from, missing out on some good stuff. And now I'm kind of mixing up my strategies a little bit. So my bread and butter strategy across all asset categories, from crypto to stocks, large caps, mid caps, all that stuff. My favorite way to trade is typically long-term support and resistance. I look for pullbacks to those areas or breakouts from those areas, and I trade fairly hands-off in terms of, I have limit orders out there, and I just, take profits or, let these moves kind of go out. And sometimes I implement that strategy into my challenge account. So this gap and go strategy account, which is all about buying breakouts, sometimes, buying pullbacks and stuff like that. But you're ideally looking for, a gap, something gapping up pre-market, and then, going, gap and go, right? And sometimes I get into my conservative, looking for the pullbacks, looking for support to hold, but that's not really how you're supposed to trade this strategy. So what I want to be doing for the next few days is really just reviewing everything that I initially learned for the strategy, and really focusing on the most obvious, most clear, most simple kind of concepts, and just getting that clarity, getting that not necessarily confidence, but conviction behind the trades. Like in March we had a killer month because I just I was not necessarily like blindly optimistic behind every trade, but I just had a little bit more focus. I knew what I was looking for. And it's not that I don't know what I'm looking for now, but I just feel a little bit more in the air. So for the next few days, I'm definitely going to hit the books again and just kind of review some of the obvious stuff. So I'll be sure to share everything that I'm like, oh yeah, like why haven't I not been focusing on that? I'll definitely be sharing everything with you guys, especially during this stream. And in the charts in a little bit, you're going to see me even talk about those things already. Like, don't start trading stocks that are gapping, that are pulling back from their pre-market high gap more than 25%. Just, don't do it. And, for some reason, I did it twice today. So like simple stuff like that I know I shouldn't be doing, I'm doing. And I think it's because maybe I have, like I said in the beginning of this video, that like a little bit of FOMO, or a sense of, catching up, and I'm getting aggressive when I shouldn't be getting aggressive, which happens. Sometimes you go through some rough patches as a trader. I mean, it's a roller coaster, and if you can't handle that, then you should not be a day trader. For me, I've been doing this many years, and I understand that I'm just going through a bumpy patch. I got to take a step back, and I'm going to get through it. There's no problem. So in the charts today, I hopefully explain that a little bit more. So let's go to the charts now. Don't forget to hit that like button, guys, if you enjoy the content. If you're totally new here, we go live every morning at 9:15 a.m. Eastern Standard Time to first review the watch list, and then to trade the market open until about 10:30, 11 o'clock. So if you're interested in learning more about day trading, especially momentum trading, I would love to see you in that chat room. Let's go to the charts now. All right. Welcome, guys, to the recap video. I got SNDX pulled up right now. This is one of the big ones today that not just gained a lot of attention based on dollar volume, but really kind of had the gap and go premise almost perfectly. It was gapping up about 28%, which isn't that much, but sometimes it's okay if it doesn't, gap up too much pre-market, because that means it has a bit of room to run when the market opens. This move here, 22%, didn't actually get me too excited. I felt like, a perfect entry and a perfect exit, 25, 24%. That's really not that great. So I wasn't too stoked about it, and I kind of looked the other way a little bit. I was focused more on TROV and BWEN at the time, with two lead gappers, but they ended up not performing. Paying more attention to SNDX would have been much better of a move. The thing is though, SNDX, market cap over 500 million, so it's not really a small cap, 30 million shares outstanding, which is okay, not too bad. And the price is just way above what I typically want to be trading. But yeah, we had some really nice pullbacks here, one big aggressive one to VWAP, and when this held and we started consolidating here, buying at this first break to the upside and on the pullback here at 1657, I'm looking for that 8% move or something like that, a little break above the $18 long-term support and resistance area. Would have been something that I should have maybe considered, would have been something that would have been more interesting. I was totally not focused at the time in terms of looking at SNDX, so this is totally more hindsight. As we broke up past $18, we were talking in the chat room quite a bit, where is it going to go? And it was looking okay because we were holding the highs pretty well. We broke out with volume from long-term support and resistance. And we were pulling back to this area. And you can see here, after we held again, not too much selling volume, we held this area and then we ripped up 6% and then a total of 16, close to 17%. So this was really, really nice. And we pulled all the way back here to this key support and resistance area. Mainly new support now, bouncing off of this a little bit. So yeah, SNDX could have really been a big run. And honestly, I gotta say, ever since I've been, getting back into trading this month after I was sick, like I feel like I've been lacking a little bit of conviction, a little bit of clarity in my head. And I was, this afternoon after trading today, I was a little bit annoyed because I felt like I was mixing up two trading strategies. I was mixing up my classic, my bread and butter support line bounce kind of dip buying strategy with breakout gap and go strategy, which aren't really the two. Sometimes you can apply them, but to me, I was just kind of mixing it up. So I feel like I want to really focus on the gap and go, getting aggressive only on the stocks that are trending upwards and just completely forgetting about some of these morning kind of consolidation moves until they really start showing signs of upward momentum. So SNDX, this would have been a good play to focus on because this one was showing upwards of momentum. And then, maybe trying to buy some dips here, but I don't know if I would have got aggressive on this run. This is not my typical style, but, looking for these dips in this area, especially on the 5-minute chart, you can see here it's $16. We had the end of this candle and the beginning of this candle. So that's great pullback area. I probably would have got an entry too early, probably risked maybe 3% or so, but then instantly would have been in the money. And then, I don't know how long I would have held this, but it could have been a really good move. And then again here, as we break above that long-term support and resistance, then getting aggressive as support holds here. This would have been a great trade. Again, 13%. So I really want to be focusing on the momentum. And this is the gap and go challenge account. So that's what I need to be trading. Every time I mix up my strategies, usually it gets a little bit shaky because I start thinking about too many things at once. So yeah, that's why I'm doing this whole challenge, to kind of pick up a new strategy, pick up another strategy. I've really kind of perfected, and I really enjoy the support line bounces. I use it on crypto trading. I use it on my swing trades. I use it even on small caps after big plays. So for example, VSTM. I actually didn't trade this one, but this would be a classic kind of move here where, I identify long term that $2 is a key support and resistance zone, and I'll oftentimes have limit orders in these key areas, and I trade the bounces there. It's a strategy that I've been able to grow my Roth IRA account 4 times, 4x in the last since November. So it's it works very well, but it's a slower strategy, and sometimes you have a whole month without trading. So that's one strategy. And then I really want to focus on the gap and go strategy because I can also grow my account very nicely with that. But it's a different kind of climate, different kind of environment. And sometimes, I don't switch over that well. So let me quickly review the trades we made. So TROV, lead gapper on the day, 90%, 12 million, 90% gapping up, 12 million float, US biotech with positive cancer trial news. Everything was there about this one. And the problem though was, just check out this sell-off. It was, what was I doing? It was pulling back 30%. I always say stocks that are pulling back past 25% off their highs, I don't want to trade it. They typically don't perform that well. And I still ended up trading TROV. This is what I'm talking about. Like, I'm a little bit sloppy here. So, I mean, this one, I actually can't complain this much. This one could have worked out. I had a pretty decent entry. This time it just didn't work out. But again, this one is still in a downwards trend. And I'm just getting aggressive on a stock that is not clearly making new highs. And that's kind of what I'm referring to. I kind of dip bought this one as a classic reversal trade or something like that, which if I really was wanting to do that, I should have maybe done it here. But that's throwing two strategies together, and that was kind of my problem today. I felt like so TROV keeps pulling back here. It's under big support at 1.3. I don't know. I don't have high hopes for this one anymore. I wouldn't be surprised if it sold off all the way to 1.1 today. I don't know. Maybe it'll reverse. Who knows? But so far a lot of selling off here. Very aggressive. Another one, BWEN. Our lead gapper that just absolutely started selling off. This one, again, what's this? 38% down from its pre-market highs. Horrible. I mean, yes, it was gapping up 145%, and let me move the microphone a little bit. Yeah, it was gapping up 145%, 14 million float. It's a U.S. Diversified machinery company with a big contract winner, so everything is there. It's between $2 and $7. Everything screams that this wants to be traded, but the technicals aren't there. The stock chart is not showing what I want to be seeing. Yet, as we try to break above VWAP, even though there's no good big sell volume on a green candle, I still get aggressive on this one. Luckily, I cut my losses on this trade, just like I did with TROV. So today, it was a red day, but it wasn't catastrophic. I avoided a lot of downside risk by not just holding on to losers. But at the same time, both these trades should have not happened. And I'll tell you what I should have been focused on. Obviously, one, SNDX that we were talking about, and then two, CREX. I mean, this one crept up onto our scanner and was really making some nice moves, and just, it's still absolutely killing it. So pre-market, it wasn't on my gap scanner, but after this move, this was a 55% move. I would have missed this move because I probably was not checking the hold scanners at the time. It was called out in the chat room, so maybe I would have noticed it into this move at one point. I don't know. What's important though is understanding that this is a move that's making higher highs. And this is where a lot of attention is. Dollar volume wise, not too much attention, only 38 million. But that's because it didn't trade pre-market, and it didn't really trade much until 10 o'clock, when apparently probably some news came out or something like that. 10 o'clock director compensation filing. So I don't know. Clearly there's a catalyst here. I'm not going to dive into it too much. But as volume comes back into this one, check out the 5-minute chart. We have a huge breakout here, and then we have a bit of a 1-2 minute pullback, right? Getting aggressive on this 2-minute pullback, and then look at this rip, 36% rip. I need to just get a little bit more focused on stuff like that. And I know this. It's not like this is anything new. It's just I think April had a rough start, and then I got sick, and then I feel like I'm trying to play catch up. So I'm doing what I'm good at, which is dip buying, but I'm doing that in my gap and go strategy account. And it's just been a little confusing. So I need to kind of get back to the roots, make things as simple as possible. Be like, okay, is it trending up? Does it fit our criteria? Does around 10 million float, ideally under 50 million float? Is there volume? Did I say, is there a catalyst already? Is there a catalyst? And then, is it trending higher, and does it have room to run? And this one, boom, above the 180-day moving average, you can see clearly has room to run. Some big gap down areas here around 4.2. And then again, here in this area, some resistance, but overall definitely has room to run. I like the fact that it's clearly, clearly trending higher above the 1.5. So you can see here, 1.5 was that big initial kind of push higher. We dipped under it a little bit. We pulled back above 1.5, found support, ran all the way back above 2, kind of found support in 2, and just kept on running. So just being, more mindful of the fact that, is this a stock that, is clearly moving higher, that gap and go momentum traders are looking at? Because I'll tell you what, gap and go momentum traders are not looking at. They're not looking at BWEN and they're not looking at TROV. So until those stocks really prove that they're worth trading, I just honestly just should not be trading them. So I don't know. I'm not really disappointed in my trading today. I definitely, the entries just should have not happened. The trades should have not happened, but I still stuck to my system of, cutting losses quickly, reducing downside risk, and that allows me to still, constantly grow my account. So at the same time, I'm not really disappointed. You make mistakes like that. Sometimes you're not totally on your game. You go through rough patches. It's totally understandable, totally fine. At least I was able to stay disciplined, cut my losses, and say whatever. Those were just simply trades that didn't work out this time. I mean, TROV could have easily worked out. This time it just didn't. With BWEN, I don't know. Maybe I got a little bit too aggressive on this, but what I kind of broke my rule of not trading something that's pulling back over 25%. So if BWEN, instead of having this big downturn right here, and if it did have this big downturn, maybe stopped around here at 28% pullback like max and started trending back above VWAP, and we opened up maybe around here at about 2.9, maybe had a quick dip and then started running higher, then I should be looking at BWEN. But right now, this thing is only selling off. So why am I giving it so much attention? Yeah, so next time you see me doing that in the chat room, make sure to yell at me a little bit. Sometimes, I don't know, maybe I get a little bit of tunnel vision, but yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the content. Remember, if you're totally new here, consider subscribing because we go live every morning at 9:15 a.m. First to review the watch list and then to trade the market open. It's really, really good fun. The community is growing nicely. I couldn't be more happy about it. So yeah, I will see you there, and don't forget to hit the like button if you do enjoy the content. And yeah, guys, like always, stay safe and make some awesome trades. Till next time, ciao, ciao.